Is there a paper that you're like the most proud of that is like the marker in your mind that, you know, this is when like my path as a quantum programmer really just like turned to that direction?
I won't say I'm embarrassed by my PhD papers, but they're not like the most advanced work. They're more niche. I would say the time where I knew I was hitting my stride as a scientist was during my postdoc. I had a paper there where I did this really cool idea about how you could take the notion of identical particles in physics, and there was this kind of like hidden entanglement that was there. If you describe it mathematically, it looks like these particles are entangled, but it was always considered very fictitious because it's just a mathematical artifact, and this was not some like actual extractable entanglement that you could do anything with. I think it was called a bunch of names, but I think fuzzy bunny entanglement was one of the names that was
fuzzy bunny entanglement.
Yeah. Okay. So there had been this folklore that had said in like mathematically it looks like these particles which obey this exchange symmetry look like they're entangled, but really it's just because you're using the wrong representation. There's no entanglement there. It's non-physical.
Interesting.
And I had an idea and a paper where I basically said like, maybe there's some merit to this idea. Maybe it doesn't look like this is real entanglement, but we can turn it into real entanglement. And turns out you can. And then there was a lot of like convincing needed to do people. My supervisor, when I was a postdoc, actually, he told me to shame people a little bit, to point out in the paper like who had proposed this alternative perspective, who had derided this idea in the past, just to draw a distinction between what we're proposing. So that was really cool. It was where it was like, here's an idea. This has nothing to do with really quantum programming or quantum machine learning or anything like that, but here's an idea that had laid dormant in the field, and people had actually like thought the opposite. And I was able to be that like smart aleck guy who came along and said, hey, actually, if you do it this way and this way and this way, you can actually make real entanglements here. So that was a nice moment for me.